Hello there and welcome to this session. Today we are looking at something that is very important for you as a public speaker. I think that this is one of those things that if you master very well, you are going to be exceptional when it comes to engaging your audience on stage and even online. We are talking about effective gestures and body language. There are certain and many effective gestures and body language that you can employ as a speaker when you are on stage or anytime you are addressing people. And in the next couple of minutes, I will be giving you examples of some of the gestures that I could remember and that I used them myself. You will see pictures of me using these gestures in some of the events where I have been invited to speak. And there are many gestures that you can also create because many of these body language gestures, I have created them for myself and I use them in the best possible way that resonates with me, my confidence, my nature, my height, my body. You know, all of these things count when it comes to gestures and body language in public speaking. And number one that we'll be looking at is hand gestures. Hand gestures. With hand gestures, you can practice the way you move your hands. And somebody like me, one of my greatest strengths when it comes to body language and gestures are my hands. I easily move my hands. It's natural to me. So you can practice different ways that you can use your hands to engage your audience, to drive home your point. It could be through opening of palms where you convey openness and honesty. It could be through pointing, right? Pointing with respect, of course. And you use pointing to emphasize important points and direct the attention of your audience to a particular point. You can use stapling fingers where you indicate confidence and authority as a speaker. So you can practice how you can use hand gestures to drive home your message as a speaker. The next gesture and body language I would like to talk about is facial expression. The type of facial expression that you use, you have developed, you have practiced is very important in your public speaking. For me personally, I have different types of facial expressions that I use depending on the kind of points that I want to convey. And of course, let's go to the fundamental smiles. Create warm and welcome atmosphere through your smiles. Learn how to smile. Practice to smile. There are certain points that when you are making that particular point, you just need to put on a smile, right? It just becomes natural. The next is eye contact. Learn how to look at people when you are addressing them. Focus, scan the room. Don't look at the ceiling, don't look at funny corners. No, let your eyes be on the people. And I think that eye contact is easier when you are in front of a large audience because you can just be scanning your eyes and people just think that you're looking at them. Meanwhile, you're just looking at the whole hall and all of that, but you are engaging them with your eyes, right? So let your facial expression be very powerful because it is a weapon and it will help you to create a warm and welcoming atmosphere as far as your session is concerned. Your eye contact communicates authority, credibility, confidence, and that you know what you are doing. Number three, we're looking at body movements. And how you move your body on stage is very important. How you move your body when you are addressing people is very important. And body movement talks about from your head to your toe, right? All of these things, you can use them. And I think in one of the sessions, I shared the experience of how all my life where I've been living alone, I don't normally have sitting chairs in my house because I use my sitting room as a stage where I practice. And one of the most important things I have practiced is body movement, how I move on stage as a speaker. And body movement can include things like pacing, where you control movement across the stage. And that way you keep your audience engaged. You are not moving too much and you are not standing still, but your pacing is just balanced and just professional. Another way is the way you lean on people, right? You can call it leaning forward. You know, when you're about to make a point, if you, it's that I couldn't find any of those pictures. I have many pictures where sometimes I want to make a point, I can put my hands on my laps, and I just kind of just stand and just come close to people. It's called the leaning forward technique. It shows interest, it shows engagement, and it shows that you know what you're doing. The fourth gesture you can use is called mirroring. Mirroring. Now, this is that time within your session where you may make the body language of your audience to create rapport and connection. For example, maybe you make a point and you see a particular, you see somebody in the audience, the way the person smiles or the way the person gets excited about that point. You're like, oh, look at the way she's excited. She just made a very amazing gesture. She just shook her body like that, right? That is mimicking the body language of somebody in the audience. Or maybe you share a point and it has happened. It has happened to me many times in my different sessions. Maybe I share points and maybe something that resonates with the audience. Somebody say yes, right? Then I was, wow, look at what that lady did. She did yes, right? You are mirroring the audience, and when you do that, it creates a powerful rapport and connection. And that's why it's important to have your eyes on the audience, to begin to pick the things that you can mimic and you can mirror, and it will be so powerful. And you must not do a lot of mimicking, right? You can do 2-3 times and that is it, but it will be so powerful. The next technique that I use a lot is called the palm up and palm down gestures. Now, palm up gestures shows openness and receptiveness. Right, you are just talking. You just your hands in your palm up. Your palms are facing up. Right, just depending on what you're talking about. And then palm down gestures indicate authority and conviction. Right, I think you can see in one of my pictures there. You're about to make a point. Right, you just put it. Like I'm saying. Listen, if you are going to be an incredible speaker, you need to learn how to exude and communicate authority and conviction. And one way that you can do that is using the palm down gestures. Did you get it? Good. You see, it's just so powerful. I wish it was a better way to explain it, but try it yourself. Just try to explain a powerful point and use the palm down gestures. It will just make you feel different when you do that, right? The next gesture that you can use is called the power pose. This is the way you stand. You stand tall with your shoulders back, portraying confidence and strength. There are certain points that when you want to make this, the way you stand, right? Your shoulders are back, your chest is out, your hands are firm, you are portraying confidence and strength. You are standing like the main guy. You're standing like a chairman, right? Yes, it's very powerful. So practice the power pose. Number 7 is what you can call illustrative gestures. Using your hands to paint a mental picture of what you are describing. Let us say you are trying to describe a scenario and you use the word run. Let's say you're trying to do a presentation and you are talking about your daughter or your son, and you're trying to explain that as you walked into the house, your son was running from his room to your room to give you a big hug. So you can use an illustrative gesture, right? My son was running towards me. Or you can also run on stage. And when my son got to me, he gave me a big, warm hug. That is an illustrative gesture. And it's more powerful in storytelling. If you're going to tell stories that will convict people, you need to learn how to balance descriptive language and illustrative gestures when you tell the story. Number 8 is varied movements. Varied movement on stage. From the picture you can see, when I'm speaking, I am on stage, I am in the crowd, I am back on stage, I'm in the crowd. I just always almost set the roof on fire. right? I enjoy what I do, and I will bring all the energy when I do this work, right? And varied movements is one of my powerful techniques when it comes to engaging the audience. Avoid staying in one place and avoid moving too much. Sometimes when some people are nervous, they just move too much and it's not organized, it's not in style. When you're moving, let it be in style. Let it be that you know what you are doing. You carry some composure and some style with you, right? So avoid staying in one place, avoid using the same gesture too repeatedly. I said varied movement, right? Good. And also avoid being disorganized in your movement. It is not good for you when it comes to engaging your audience. Number 9 is purse and body freeze. This gesture is so powerful. Sometimes you're communicating a powerful point, you can just freeze your body movement for about 5 seconds. And everybody will be looking at you and anticipating what you're about to say, at the same time processing what you just said, right? Freezing your body at key moments emphasizes the importance of the points that you're making. And freezing your body captures attention and can signal a significant transition to an important point, or can signal that what he is saying is critical. And one thing I love about body freeze is that it communicates emotions. Many a times, there was a time I was speaking somewhere and I did a body freeze where I stopped, I looked up, looked down, and I put my hands on my laps after I said something so powerful. I wanted the emotions of what I said to penetrate the hearts of the people. And I know it did. Because after that particular session, somebody came and said, I shed a tear while you were speaking. Public speaking is an art, it's a science, and gestures, understanding these gestures will change a lot in your work. Number 10 is open arms gesture. Open arms gesture. Openly spreading your arms asks or shows that you are very welcoming and you are enjoying yourself. When you also open arms, it sends a message of inclusion and approachability. You know, there's a way you are too serious on stage that when you are done, nobody comes to greet you. Oh, yes. But there's a way that you carry yourself on stage and you use open arms gestures. It sends a message. It's a message that is beyond words. It just makes people to feel that you are approachable and you are comfortable having them around you. Okay, so practice open arm gestures. And open arm gestures also plays a big role depending on what you're talking about, especially when you're talking about a large crowd of people. Depending on the descriptive language that you're using, learn how to incorporate open arm gestures. Number 11 that I would like to talk about is hand to heart gesture. Hand to heart gesture. That is the best picture I could see with my hands close to my heart, but I use that a lot. I think maybe one of the videos you must have seen my hands coming to my heart in one of the sessions. Placing your hand on your heart while you are expressing your emotions, or especially when you're talking about yourself, you're sharing a personal story or a story about somebody that you love. For example, if I'm sharing a story about my wife, my daughter, my mom, my siblings, definitely my hand will go to my heart because they are very close to my heart, right? So it's a powerful way to express personal emotions, or anytime you're sharing a very emotional story. And when you bring your hand to your heart, it conveys two powerful things: sincerity and authenticity. It conveys that you're sincere, you're genuine, you're authentic, and you are just you. You are not faking it, and you're just, having fun and doing what is right. These are some of the gestures that I could share with you. And there are many, depending also on your nature as a person and how God created you and gifted you. Look at your life, look at your daily routine, look at how you talk when you're with friends. Begin to note down your gestures. Yes, I did that. I started looking at how I react when I communicate. I started taking notes about some of the gestures that resonate with me, and I started practicing them and using them often in my sessions. But if you are going to engage your audience the right way, you need to master how to use gestures and body language. Call to action for you. Out of all of these 11 gestures I have shared, I would like you to pick 3 that resonate with you and practice for the next 3 months. Practice for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but just record yourself speaking and using one of the gestures because it needs to get into you. Usually, when I'm using my hands and my body movement, it is already in me, it's already part of my speaking style, right? I am not forcing it, I am not thinking, oh, which gesture should I use? Because I have so practiced, I have so used it that it's already part and parcel of me. Okay, and you will be incredible when you practice this call to action. Keep building. You are on your way to being a thriving and incredible speaker. Cheers.